absolutely say it's probably like 60-40 in favor of EG, but this is where I want to see Cloud9 really get online.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what they do when it comes to that meta read and how they decide to equip their players for the best possible chance at victory. Bans already coming through. The Xin Zhao ban on the side of Cloud9 from red side, of course. The Olaf, though, first thing taken off the table for Evil Geniuses. Don't want that to be handed over to Blaber.
Yeah, it makes sense, and obviously I already talked about the Syndra buffs on this patch and the fact that she just fits into so many compositions. Also removing that bot side prio you can get with Kalista, and then first pick with Viego. The Trundle is interesting. As far as I know, Action is banned or not pickable.
Funny you can select him though.
But you can hover him, but you can't select him.
Yeah. On the C9 side, I like the Diana for Blaber. I think that's one of the strongest picks in the meta still, and he has shown he can perform on it. And then Fudge's Lee Sin is gross. And so I don't hope that's going mid lane, and you can talk about this being slightly telegraphed that you know it's probably going in Fudge's hands, but Lee Sin doesn't have that many too many bad matchups, so I like this early rotation.
Thresh Aphelios, though, left up.
I was going to say it was open.
Yeah.
It was different from the previous draft.
And we know
Yeah.
Danny's got a sick Aphelios, and then to have the safety of the Thresh, Ignar's Thresh, not to undersell Ignar on the pick, but
He's honestly been having an insane split.
That's a wild duo right there to just hand over to Evil Geniuses.
He's also, like, I'm glad you brought up Ignar because he's weirdly flying under the radar with how well he's been performing.
Aside from the One World's performance.
Yeah, like, he's actually been performing super well, and a lot of, I talk so much about Danny and his teamfight micro and all that stuff, but you know, Ignar is responsible for kind of raising him in the bot lane, right? And the fact that they have such a similar way of how they want to play lane, and the fact that Ignar has been playing so well has helped facilitate Danny to be such a huge part of this team.
The other thing I like about the draft right now is we talked about in the previous one about the Viego being taken with the jungler means you're telegraphing where the Viego's going. Here, by securing a really strong bot lane for EG, not only is it like, okay, sweet, you power picked a really comfortable bot lane for your team, you also hid your solo laners with the Viego, and we talked about the jungle buffs that came in for Viego. Well, not really buffs, but more nerf and buff combos.
Yeah.
They're pushing him into the jungle.
We want you to play jungle.
Yeah, they want him to be a jungle.
He already went top lane today, so we know he can go either place.
He still
Ryan
can.
is whispering to you that he's a jungler.
Yeah, and EG still have that open here, as well as potentially, you know, being able to counter pick top, and they really don't have to blind pick their mid at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned for EG at this point because when I look at Ryze, LeBlanc, Lucian, these are all the picks that Jiizuke has been so successful at creating lane pressure with. And, you know, there's some picks available like Sylas left over where, you know, he can roam to side lanes, he can initiate fights, but overall, I actually think Cloud9 has already put EG in a really difficult position. Yeah, we have Danny on, you know, on Aphelios, which is really good for team fighting, but when I think EG, I think hyper proactive early game generated through mid lane, and I think C9 has already made it really difficult for EG to play that way.
I actually really love that call out because it's been 10 games since he's played anything since those three champions. There's Lee Sin, it was not that clean even though they won.
Yeah, so arguably,
He's trying.
arguably, if I look at the EG first three picks with the nameplates off, I say that's a good draft so far. But when I look at EG as a team and their strengths, I'm actually concerned, and I think they should have prioritized the mid pick earlier.
That's super cool context. I love hearing that. Let's see what they do go for, as they'll have to make their 4 and 5 picks.
I'm not sure what they have left.
Yeah. I love this.
There's
NA teams, honestly, there's so many times when I thought a TF could go into draft, so much side lane pressure. This really fits the way EG want to play. Yes, I know Kaizen's wincing because he's like, it could be disastrous.
Right.
Yeah.
I want more NA teams to play TF, honestly. It's been
opposite
such
reaction.
an insane pick.
I love it.
So many other
On the
regions.
desk, Emily almost jumps out of her seat and seeing this, and I just saw
love
Kaizen literally deflate. So
throw
why?
This
You're
is not
so
it.
scared?
No, this is not it. Look,
Why?
when we
Kaizen's
talk
not
about
happy.
EG, we talk about their solo laners getting tempo and creating pressure.
You can create tempo.
Yeah, no,
he goes into side lanes. He's able to get to side lanes.
And when I think Twisted Fate, what I generally think is this is a champion who's more focused on roaming to side lanes, but not necessarily creating advantages that Jiizuke is known to create in mid lane. And frankly, I hate to bring this up, Jiizuke gets caught a lot mid and late game, and this is a champion who requires a lot of finesse and a lot of map awareness later in the game. So I love to see more TF in North America. Bring more TF in North America, but EG did not need to be the team that brought TF to North America.
I think EG is the perfect team.
Well, to be honest, I also like Cloud9's answer. Like
Yeah.
The Yasuo?
Yeah, the Yasuo Diana combo at 6 is
really
very
good.
scary for TF when that's exactly what wants to be unlocked. Like Emily's saying, get into these side lanes. Like they're gonna hard camp his lane, I bet, to try and stop him from getting into these other positions.
And Lee Sin. And and Leona. There's threats everywhere for the TF. So if EG pulls this off, boom, best team in the league. They can do anything right now.
Here's my argument. I actually think both teams got exactly what they wanted. Because when we look at how C9 wants to play, a lot of the time it really does come down to getting into some sort of hands-off with making picks and then setting up for objectives. Mark, you're laughing, but you know I'm being honest. And then with EG, they always play for side lane pressure. So if they are able to unlock this TF, it's going to be exactly how they want to play. And another thing that I always harp on is that their 3 is really good, in my opinion. Like, I do like the Viego, Thresh Aphelios combo. And if you're setting up a 1-3-1, that 3 is actually more important than people give it credit for. You always look to the side lane matchups, but that's a really nice 3 to have, especially with how well that bot lane's been playing.
The one caveat I'll throw in too, though, is as one of the last games of the season, if they drop this one, it does give a pretty good blueprint for these teams for the reason that Kaizen talked about hard targeting Jiizuke's effective champion pool and pushing him down the list a little bit, maybe being a good way to approach them in these best of 5s if this works.
Yeah, so this is an important moment for EG. Definitely, please prove me wrong, right? but also show us that you have a deeper pool than what we've seen.
Yeah. All right, the challenge has been thrown to Evil Geniuses with the draft that they brought out for Cloud9. It's about whether or not they've returned to championship form. If we assume both teams got what they want, I want to know from each of you who you think takes it. Cloud9, EG.
Cloud9.
Cloud9?
Yeah, so I think EG before the draft.
Best team in the league.
Cloud9
is going to take it. Mark?
I voted EG, but if you had a coin right now and it landed heads because the C9's mid-jungle, I might go C9.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm flipping on. I'm not flipping EG for what it's worth. I'm flipping C9.
I picked EG before draft. There's a record of it. I'll still tentatively pick EG after draft. I'd really love to see this composition work out. I think it's really going to depend on mid-jungle, though, and that is where I think C9 could get their advantage.
Okay, in contrast to our first game of the day, we got a bit of a discrepancy when it comes to the predictions here on the desk, and a lot of pride on the line for it, I guess. It's time to head it back over to Phreak and Azael to get us into the game.
Welcome back to the show. This is going to be a fun one. We are on Summoner's Rift for a battle that could easily end up claiming a top seed and a playoff bye in the postseason here. Evil Geniuses either actually do or nearly control their own destiny. They beat Cloud9, they're a game ahead of them. They play 100 Thieves later on in this week. They own that head-to-head if they win that match, and bam, that's tied for second with the tiebreaker already controlled. So you just keep pace from there, and that's your spot, unless there's something weird with three-way ties that I'm not sure about. Otherwise, though, Cloud9, of course, in a similar boat, cannot get that spot over EG. They already own the head over 100 Thieves, but they need that squad to lose another game to make that road happen. But either way, this could still easily be a spot for the top 2, and these are still 2 absolute sweethearts for winning it all.
Exactly, and I mean, that's one of the biggest things to me is that, you know, even if you don't claim a top 2 spot, if you go into playoffs in incredible form, you can win it all with or without the bye.
Yeah.
And Papa Smithy, you know, just had an interview with Degon, and Degon was posting about that, where Papa Smithy said today he believes Cloud9 is the best team in the league. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what kind of form they are in. A lot of people have been talking about some of the improvements we have been seeing from Cloud9. Blaber gaining some confidence and really having some strong games. And Cloud9, I do think that the Yasuo Diana combo is really strong here. It's very threatening for TF. TF is so reliant on the gold card, and if you can win wall that gold card, it's very difficult for TF to do much in these potential all-ins. Of course, it's up to TF to just have the shove, to auto-attack non-stop, keep pushing this lane. You can't allow Yasuo to really gain control of the wave, and you know, while we haven't seen Jiizuke play this champion this split, he has played it in his career, and when I think about his playstyle, I think about more playing aggressive in lane to push and move. Think about how he's successful on Rise. This is a champion that can do that sort of thing, you know, honestly, even better.
Yep. Stack deck level 1 makes it look good. Now, if you don't want to miss any of the action, you are on the go. Check out the audio-only broadcast this weekend's games at leagueday.live. As right now, EG are pushing in all 3 of their lanes. Jiizuke has Perkz under the turret. You got similar stuff going on here for Danny and Ignar, because Thresh wins basically every lane at level 1. And Impact is shoving in Fudge in the Gnar.
Yep. Fudge, you're going to be seeing a lot of his tower, I think, this game. unless they can get up there and break things up as far as jungle interference is concerned. There's not really any chance, I think, that Fudge can actually push the wave in this matchup. You're generally just having to play pretty defensive against Gnar. Impact is very good on the champ. And expecting to see a pretty heavily, farm-centric style from Blaber in these early levels. A lot of it is just going to depend on the individual laning. Nice hook.
Yep.
It's not resulted much.
No, it's Vulcan hit the W and sidestepped into Zven to tank it. Make sure, like, hey, look, Leona takes barely any damage. The damage on Zven obviously means a lot more. So good play on kind of all sides. It was a well-aimed hook by Ignar, good follow-up by Danny. And Vulcan and Zven made sure to play close enough together that they can kind of offload the damage well. Blaber is in a full clear right now. Scuttle has spawned. Svenskeren going to be clearing his 5th camp and getting some alone time.
And they know exactly where Blaber is because they actually had a ward on his Raptors. So this ward saw him go to the Raptors after the red. They would have seen him with both buffs on this camp, and then he went up from there. So full knowledge of where he is. That's why we saw Impact move for the Tri-Brush ward to see if there's any sort of sneaky wraparound gank. But Svenskeren just going to go scuttle to scuttle. Knowing the path here from Blaber, you fight through mid lane. You help to push that out. So even if Cloud9 wants to contest, well, guess what? You can't. Perkz is under his tower. TF could roam.
Yep.
And it's just securing a very early double scuttle here. Nice little advantage for Viego, who you expect to win out in the 1v1s in these early levels against Diana.
So the best you can make from Blaber here is just take the early recall. You know you're getting into the camp. Don't even try for bottom scuttle. You already know that wave is pushed in. So he's already there on the extra dark seal, on the amp tome, waiting for his next round of camps to keep the farm going. You can also bypass that scuttle and look down towards the bottom lane. The call is always, hey, by the way, Blaber is always bottom side. With the sweeper, though, able to spot that ward and kill it. So now I'll have to play a little bit safe down here for EG.
Play a little bit defensive. I wonder if that ward was actually a failed ward over the wall, because there was one kind of random ward in the lane there from the side of EG. And I'm not sure if that was trying to actually ward over the wall into the river brush. And if that was, that ward right there on
that
the
ward
screen.
is...
and I think that's what that is, and that can be relevant, because if you actually lose a trinket ward to a poorly placed one gets cleared out. That's now their, kind of ward that they're depending pretty heavily on in the river. But either way, Blaber is clearing up towards top side, so probably will not matter.
Yeah. Unless for some reason you think there's like a lane gank angle, which again I doubt. Yeah, that's my expectation. It's not the word you wanted. Could always be like a misclick. You're typing a cleanse timer. Not that they were right now,
Flaming
but
your opponents in chat.
Flaming them in chat. Who knows what? I have trinket on T, but some have it on 5, and you say, hey, the hook was a 5 hit. Oh, I didn't press enter first. Like who knows?
Easy flash there.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I don't tape anything that has F in it in chat, so I don't ever burn my flash on accident. Not a true statement. Now Jiizuke and Blaber going to be in battle. He gold cards the chicken, and now the junglers have joined the rest of the fight as Perkz is in battle with Svenskeren. If you're going to walk away from that one, and no one's dead.
Yep, just defending that as Blaber, I think, got most of it, if not all of it there. So Perkz got a lot of damage down on Svenskeren, and that kind of just dissuades you from over-chasing, and I think you're always a little bit nervous about a potential TP flank or join from Impact if you overchase. So happy to just defend the play, get Blaber his farm. That's really what they are looking for here. But Jiizuke just hit 6, and he's threatening the move. And I just love, even though he's going for a recall, just the fact that he actually moves out of lane up to this spot to recall does have it in the back of your mind, well, he could be looking for an ult top, right? It's just that little bit of threat that is always there, and that's why moving into Fog can be so powerful, especially on a semi-global champion like TF.
Absolutely. Level 6 TF on the board. Cooldown boots picked up. Wants to make sure he's got the shorter cooldowns for those. You can make sure you can get the ults off even more often. Quick note on Viego, because we saw Viego top in the first game of the day. We're seeing Viego jungle here. Worldwide, across the patch, over 80% of Viego games have been jungle. He's basically unplayed, and by the way, the win rate is sub 50 in both top and mid since the changes. So, in my opinion, teams will continue on that road, and he'll be disappearing entirely from the solo lanes. Just want to point that out. That's what other competitive teams around the world are doing. It is Guardian, once again, for Ignar there to make sure the Lanterns are healthier, and Danny gets to walk away any of the damage. But look at this. Bot lane control has switched back over, and Blaber has right away run for this dragon.
Going to be starting that up as fast as he possibly can. I'm not sure if Viego was spotted topside on the ward, or if they just kind of intuited that he was moving up there for the scuttle, knowing that the scuttle spawn would be top, getting that for themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty good trade, though. It is 3 straight scuttles for Svenskeren, so he has more individual gold, but obviously you're going to be happy to trade a dragon for a scuttle. It's not really that big of a prize for the opposing team, so Blaber will be down a little bit of gold, but probably hit 6 off of this blue buff here, and should be sitting in a pretty good spot. And that's where Jiizuke is going to have to start being a bit nervous. The stopwatch is not yet online for him. There is always that potential of the Diana plus the Yasuo, comboing with those ultimates, and really looking for an aggressive play.
Perkz puts on the wave away. Jiizuke able to sidestep it, and now with rank 4 Q, knocks on the rest of the wave, and what's he looking for, right? Gets into fog, says, hey, by the way, are you afraid of top? No, because, you know, Lee Sin is hanging out there. Can't get 3 autos off. Not enough attack speed on the Twisted Fate. The Trinket Ward will be useful. Helps track the top side move. Nice hook into a flay, into a flash away from Vulcan to stay alive. First Summoner Spell burned. Nice
little play there by Ignar. Good hook. He has the Lantern coming in, and Vulcan with the respect. Early flash to avoid the W from Svenskeren. It's pretty well played there by Ignar, and they have had the push. They've been very effective, just shoving in this Varus, not allowing him to really get much poke down, you know, utilizing the red gun to stay healthy, and had the ward on Vulcan there, so pre-place the Lantern so he could just jump to safety.
And everyone's going to feel pretty safe right now. 400 gold lead to EG's side. Now keep in mind, 3/4 of that is Twisted Fate's passive. It's easy to remember. It averages exactly 4 gold per CS, and so you can track that one without much issue. EG continuing on with their trend, though, as they've pushed in towards Rift Herald. Impact taking a quick respite from top side. The jungler feeling good. We know mid has had pressure the entire way through. Perkz has CS'd well, but it's Jiizuke able to roam first. Yeah, that gold difference is just the TF passive, basically. But hey, now that Rift Herald's been claimed, that's going to mean another surge of gold for EG to answer Cloud9's first strike.
Yep, Blaber was trying to start that up, wanted to sneak it away potentially, but of course, Impact is there, pushes him back. And he has had control on the top side pretty much start to finish in this game. Has only resulted in the 6 CS advantage, so not really that big of a deal. You know, Fudge will still be there for the playmaking, but it has also given one plate over to the EG side, and Impact will continue to look to push. And generally speaking, it's just a tough matchup for the Lee Sin. You really have to be confident in your playmaking come 5v5 and skirmishing time to want to take this kind of a pick into an R.
So there we go. It is mid turret under fire. 1 turret play taken for Jiizuke. Obviously, we can see how good TF wave clear is. 2 Qs and basically the rest of your kit just auto-attacking. That's going to knock down pretty much the entire wave. Ulti sent. Danny wants to clear the minions out. Lantern timing out. Last auto comes in. And you can see a lot of these times they are pushing the wave and playing at max range Lantern. There is 0 way for Leona Varus to interrupt the Lantern. A flash ward, I guess, would make the click hard, but it's very easy to always get the wave for max distance, and then out you are with the first recall. So how they're playing the lane out. It is a shield bow look here for Danny. Yes, Gale Force could be useful in terms of dodging away from some of the knockouts, but going for raw tank stats and to make sure he's not getting one shot by Diana Yasuo combo.
Exactly. I mean, I think pretty much at some point you're guaranteed to get kicked by Lee or ulted in by Blaber, and the Yasuo is going to be there. So you have to have the effective HP to survive. Guardian Lantern Shield is going to help with that. Life bow, or the Shield bow, excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Is going to help with that as well. So
nice.
I do think it's a pretty smart choice.
Gets set up by Jiizuke, gets away from the tornado as Perkz just now feels a lot more comfortable with Zerker's Greaves and the Noon Quiver. Suddenly he gets really, really good minion damage, and that kind of pressure can flip a little bit. Have yet to see a Twist of Fate ultimate level 9 now. No tower dives. For the most part, C9 haven't just taken any poke, so the dives haven't really been available. Junglers are 1 camp away. They've both gotten one of the epic monsters, and we're just kind of waiting around for more to happen.
Yep. It's been a non-stop shove from Perkz, and as you said, you get some of those items under your belt. Once you have enough attack speed, the Q cooldown getting so low, you can kind of just constantly push back as the Yasuo, and unless you're willing to go for those tower dives, I mean, Cloud9 has not been pushing anywhere.
Okay, Ward hops in, gets himself a slow, jump away for impact, ultimately just a bit of damage. No junglers around, but Fudge gonna keep trying. Gets the Conqueror stacked up, down to 400 health, kicks him into the wall, and Sun doesn't like that one anymore. Good flay. There's the Diana dive, finding 3, and the chase is in for Perkz. First one comes through, second one right after. Teleport comes in for impact, but a Mega Gnar in a 1v4 is not where that champ wants to be. Should not be killed. Oh. I think trying to predict the jump, but doesn't go for it.
Yeah, trying to predict where he would jump or potentially even flash, but Impact has the read, does not blow it. Still really nice combo shown off there by Cloud9. That is what you draft for. And when you TP away from that top lane, Fudge did not have to join. He's going to get 2 plates here, so Cloud9 winning out on both sides, extending a 1k gold advantage here. Pretty much right off of that one play.
And doesn't greed for the third, knows it's recall timing. Really, really well done by all of Cloud9.
Yep, really nice sidestep there from Blaber. Uses the first activation of the E, the stun does land, and then it is just flash to reposition, ult on 3, Perkz is in range, immediate flash follow over the wall, Svenskeren and Danny both low. Ignar didn't have a lantern available to throw over the wall and save them. They pick up those 2 kills, and Cloud9 in such a good spot off of that. When you have these hard engaged comps, when they hit that critical mass, when they hit a certain amount of gold, if they get too far ahead, you just get deleted by those engages. So EG gonna have to play well around this.
So now we have top lane under fire. Cloud9 finally gonna summon, but it only means turret plates. Ooh, 2 and 3. Plate 4 is out of range anyway, and it actually doesn't fall. It's got a bit of health. To be fair, I believe that gold couldn't have been earned even if that damage was dealt. I think everyone is too far away, but regardless, yeah, that turret plate's going to be alive. You can see Cloud9 on if you're on a gold lead. And I want to chime in one little bit. In the last fight, Perkz walked into the Dragon Pit. The coordination from C9, Blaber's holding ult until he's in range. Perkz says, I'm just going to walk in a dragon. All right, I'm in range, go for it. Hits the R, he's right there ready to go. So that was really, really nice to see. That coordination between Perkz and Blaber, that is a lot of what Cloud9 got their last title from. Obviously, Fudge has been very good. He sat in top lane and got some plates, but the whole squad came together for that one.
Absolutely, and when you think back to even previous versions of Cloud9, Gragas Yasuo playing heavily around that coordination, and even some of the other looks where they're playing like Kindred Zillion and these types of things, playing around mid-jungle has been a core part of Cloud9's identity for so many years. Perkz now has the shield bow completed, so at this point, as Yasuo, you do not care about anything that TF is really trying to do to you. He is not going to be able to push you out of the lane. You really can get strong. It does look like they're sending Yasuo top, though. They're going to move Varus to the mid lane to try to keep Zven farming safely and effectively.
Impact on the Divine Sunderer. Fudge not onto his Gore Drinker yet, so it might mean, yeah, you can see kind of safer play from the Gnar. Does not want to fight for that wave, as he didn't have the vision. You can see Blaber had come down, got rid of the ward, and yeah, a little bit in too little safety. But top is under fire. Plates are gone, but the turret is going to be as well. Not going to any more CS, but first turret of the game does go EG's way.
And I just liked how Ignar was playing that. They don't have 100% information of where everyone is, so Ignar is literally max lantern range behind Danny as he is sieging that tower. Like, this is just smart stuff, right? In this case, it didn't actually matter. Perkz was never going to dive in by himself with 4 members bot, but since you don't have that information, you check all the boxes, you play as safe as you can, taking down the tower there. And also, he should have been out of range of local gold, so it should all go just in towards Danny, exactly where he wanted.
Yeah, 400 local gold plus 50 global right onto the Aphelios. He'd be one of the members on his team, if not for the fact that Jiizuke, of course, gets to print some himself, but still going pretty well here on Danny. Ahead of Blaber, which is something nice. Trying to catch up, obviously, the fact that Zven got to snipe first blood, the fact that Cloud9 have generally, I feel like, gotten more turret plates overall. All of that is, of course, a factor, but now EG collapsing back towards the top side. Is there going to be a fight to be had? Okay, just a quick lantern, out they go. No worries here.
Cloud9 looking like they want to play for this next Herald. They have 2 dragons to their name. They're starting this up. Blaber does not have Smite just yet, but don't think there's going to be any sort of a contest, so it doesn't really matter. And Fudge now with the Gore Drinker just going to head back out towards bot. We'll see if Impact can finish that tower before Fudge does show up, but I'm not sure if Impact's going to have the knowledge of where everyone is and the confidence to kind of move forward and try to look for it.
Alrighty, Impact going to be teleported upon, gets the demolish, and he's going to stay for the turret, maybe, no, is Gnar, lands a bit of a stun, waiting the ulti, has a teammate coming around, a kick back on Jiizuke, but now they've got the reinforcements, finds the slow, flashes because the gold card was going to time out, Frost is in, kill picked up and secured, and Fudge is now out of cooldowns, tries to find his next angle, but won't do so. Jiizuke is safe, and now we've got Impact on the chase. Blaber, Vulcan, the rest of the Cloud9 crew, can they help as the squad is still coming around? Ulti in, oh, Jiizuke, that coin came up tails, but Viego is in as Svenskeren comes through. Next fight gonna come across, double root is there, bit more damage, a good flay, a flash to save the Vulcan, but no such luck for Blaber, a double kill in for Impact.
Man, that is huge for EG. They got so much there, and it looked like Jiizuke just underestimated the damage. He has the spellbook healed, so I think it was a good play to go for. I assume you live if you get the heal off there because your gold card should come through. You should stun him up and survive. Very quick TP, though, from Jiizuke prevented what would have been a good play onto Impact. And so much of this play actually comes down to the stun timing from Impact, because when they see Jiizuke TPing in, they don't want to use the ultimates onto Impact. They want to use it on the TF. But look at this. Right as TF is arriving, Impact has saved his stun. He stuns Perkz into the wall right as the kick comes through on Jiizuke. So Perkz doesn't even have an opportunity to actually ult over onto the TF and try to make that play happen. Then in the extended play here, Fudge backing off. Jiizuke comes through, and that was really well timed by Fudge, to be fair, but Jiizuke should have just used the heal for safety.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, there's a reference because as we know how this fight played out, Danny was on Next Level a week ago, and they were talking about the Messiah. The Twisted Fate ult in and then instant Zonias to bait cooldowns.
That's true.
And Danny's like, oh, that was considered a good play back in 2012?
That's tactical.
It was tactical?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Either way, it's less
Zoomer
punchy.
ADC.
It's less punchy as not his teammate. It's like, well, that play still holds up because Jiizuke had a stopwatch.
True.
I just want to point things out that you can't mock old plays when they're good plays.
They can sometimes be those good plays still. But we do see EG grabbing some kills back. Also, really nice ultimate by Danny. Didn't mention in the replay, but the long-range ultimate into the double root there got them, you know, some extra out of that fight. Fudge now being pushed in, and Impact gets pretty strong off that, right? He's got 2 kills to his belt. He's got the Divine Sunder here, picking up the Phage on top. Probably just going to be Steric's second, one would assume.
Yeah.
And then you really can't have any hope of actually bursting him down in the 1v1, so you can kind of just push without any sort of worry in that 1v1. He just has to track where these other members are coming from.
So 1,500 gold lead roughly to Evil Geniuses, but 2 dragons to Cloud9's side makes it a bit close on the scoreboard. I think it's certainly still anyone's game to be played. Cloud9 have a good out if they can keep those objectives going. But we got to keep track of what else is happening in this game. Impact is whittling down that bot laner turret, has been able to aggressively use Demolish, has not been punished by Fudge, who's just dropping farm. And this is one where Impact TP'd bot to get nothing done, and Fudge took a turret plate. Fudge is down 30 CS. Like, Impact is landing this really, 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 really well. Blue buff under fight, not going to go through. Nice smite for Svenskeren.
And now I want to see, does Cloud9 even try to go for this? And I guess the answer is no. As I look at Perkz' location on the map, the fact that he has no teleport, they're just going to give up this 3rd dragon. So Cloud9, that was kind of their main advantage. They fought for the early dragons, grabbed those for themselves. But it won't be a quick soul for them. They are going to trade, getting a top tower here for Perkz, and we may just see them look towards a 2-item power spike on Perkz, try to fight around IE completion. I assume it will be. Yeah. There are some Yasuos going for like Bloodthirster and super, you know, kind of drain tanky style builds, but I think when you're playing against the Aphelios as well as this TF, you really want the ability to just try to 100-0 them with an IE, and that's what I'm assuming they'll go for.
It is. This is really, really nice. Fudge took a recall back as this all went down, and yes, that was good by Perkz to push in top lane outer, but bot lane tier 2 is more gold. It's a more difficult one to kill as well, so not only was the dragon claimed off of map control, but the gold lead actually grows. So EG kind of winning everywhere off of how much bot side control they have, a 2,000 gold lead nearly at this point in time.
And they're playing the side lanes really well, right? You know, it's been nonstop push here from Impact. You know, he's laned very well. He's got a big CS advantage. Part of it is definitely the matchup. I do think it is very Gnar favored, especially with a lot of the nerfs given over towards Lee Sin. But he has that push. He has the ability to be backed up by Jiizuke, who's playing this TF, who has the rank 2 ultimate, so the additional range available on that now. And as a result, that makes C9 side lanes, you know, very difficult to play out. The only place you can really push aggressively is if you were in the 1v1 against Jiizuke. And then you still have to worry about jungle roams, about support coming up there, and everything else that you normally would.
No, we've seen a couple of TF teleports. He's got Ghost Heal, the default summoners for a level 1 player in League of Legends. When you load into Summoner's Rift the very first time, you're given Ghost Heal. That's your default summoners. Just, by the way, want everyone to know that one. So Jiizuke, you know, bringing it back old school.
Everyone knows.
Yep, everyone's had that experience. Literally everyone. It would have had to. Obviously, you can change them, but, you know, that's what the defaults are.
Thank you, Phreak.
Yeah, I just like, you know, giving out the info. Yeah. So, yes, Impact getting a lot of farm for himself, obviously. This is 217, highest in the game. Very rare for top laner to get the most CS. But yeah, Impact is hard side laning. He's going for the team fight focus build once again. I mean, pretty much every Gnar is going for exactly this kind of setup. Ult's going to come across, not going to find kills here. But I do wonder if we, because Hullbreaker got buffed this patch. if we start seeing more split push focused itemization for Gnar, it's not like Mega Gnar is ever going to like die for free. Like he doesn't super need Sterix. I'm curious if it ever happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're focusing on the team fight, it's probably not going to happen. I think if you think your win condition is side lanes, then we could. But I agree, could be mixed in from time to time, especially if you're not worried about getting burst down. If you think it's a team that's looking to fight past you instead of potentially bursting you out, can definitely be valuable in the side lanes. Get a lot of extra damage down on the towers.
Yep. Burns the TF ult. Off he goes.
Big.
There we go. All right, 2 items in for most champions. Lord Dominic's. Here we go. Yep, there's the pop-up in for Danny. Manamune close to completion. Not terribly far away now for Zven. That'll be an important power spike, and we keep on going. We're going to see Tank on his for impact next as he builds towards his Randu and Zoman.
Part of my concern on the Cloud9 side is actually that, you know, they had that early good fight. They haven't been able to push the pace. They've actually been falling further and further behind since then. And now you look over at the EG inventory, you know, not even to mention that there's exhaust on the Thresh, but it's 3 stopwatches all available. It's going to be very hard to burst any of these members down as EG again disengages there quite nicely.
It's double ult for nothing. You just walk out of that one, no problem at all. So yeah, it does feel like Cloud9, their win condition still is going to be that, you know, surprise Diana ult. Okay, they can all stopwatch, but the damage is still going to go through for, you know, Diana and Yasuo together in the combo, as long as you time it.
Unless you get exhausted, right? You know, that's one of the concerns.
Sure.
In these dive-heavy comps, you know, exhaust is so valuable against that. So if you don't have that lethal 100-0 and they get into the stopwatch and Gnar and Viego are on top of you, it can get dangerous. So they're going to have to execute on it really well.
They are. And we are a minute and a half away from this Dragon. Cloud9 probably not content to keep bleeding out the game. I will once again mention 800 of the gold lead is from the TF passive. Not that the gold can't be spent, but if you use the gold lead to say who's winning, well, a little bit of it is just automatic, and champions are balanced, right? So you will always expect that, even in a fair game.
And I mean, his Magi's has 1 stack, right?
Very
so
efficient item.
It's like, it's really not worth the gold that you spend on it at this point. So as far as all things are considered, it's basically even with the gold. Cloud9 is up the 1 dragon, and we'll have to see what they can get done here. Blaber going in!
There's the flash engage. There's the stopwatch. Is it going to work out in the end? Danny flashes back to safety. Huge burst comes across. Stopwatch finally burned. And a jump away for impact. But that means they have the damage to kill off Blaber. C9 engaged. C9 could not finish the kill. Vulcan wants the front line, but he's not going to get much done as Viego comes in for more damage. Perkz going to duel him. Going to push him away. Lee's in there as well. And it's a 1-for-1. But overall, 2 on the side of Evil Geniuses. Still going, impact as Lantern, big Guardian Shield, but now is it Danny? He's gonna find it, the gold card around the wind wall, finds the 3rd kill.
Oh, the rapid fire range there over the wall, stuns up Perkz. EG coming up huge. The stopwatch was so big for Danny, the exhaust. The stopwatch comes through, buys him time. He was able to create enough space, and everyone comes piling in there from EG. It will be another dragon to their name. I mean, if Cloud9 loses Mountain Soul, I just can't see how they win 5v5. You know, the resistances are actually so important for EG's side here. When you are looking at this type of composition that has to 100-0 you, they've got to look for that perfect engage. Blaber here finds the opportunity, ease to the minion, and then just ulti flash. Really nicely timed there. They do actually ward out on the Lantern, so he can't take it, but he still has flash. The exhaust came through. He stopwatched at fairly high health. It was actually the piercing arrow afterwards that did get him low, but they didn't really have much to follow up there. Impact is arriving. He's about to mega out. Everyone from Cloud9 had to retreat, and Perkz does a good job in this duel here against Svenskeren, getting the help from Fudge to at least get a kill for themselves. But with them on the retreat, it is Jiizuke here with the long-range gold card. The wind wall was placed, and it just right around the edge there. But at the same time, it's hard to criticize because if you don't drop that wind wall for Danny, you probably just die to him.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to chase you down. Looks pretty good on that one. You can see Danny getting the most damage from his team. Call him Danny DeLito, maybe, for that team fight. Is 6-4 is the score line. Thank you. 4,000 gold lead. Evil Geniuses have tied the dragon count. They're getting efficient armor and MR because of the stacks there as well. Ignar takes a chunk, but he has still gotten Blaber here. The stopwatch is back from cooldown. But he's able to lock away all the same. A little bit more poke towards the Lee Sin. 5 turrets to 1. EG have a top lane tier 2 they can't really reach right now. Not going to find much of the mid lane either, but they can't take away some of the jungle.
The gold lead getting bigger and bigger here, though, for EG. They are looking in full control. Cloud9 really has been unable to get anything done since that one bot side play. EG now has control over the Baron area. They have the waves pushing in both bot and top, so they actually have prepped all of their waves right now. It's a contest for mid, but the side lanes are in their favor. So it's actually Cloud9 that needs to get out there and answer them. EG have already done their work.
All right, watch out in the mid side. Svenskeren gonna get away. By the way, Svenskeren and Danny were fighting over ward kills. Svenskeren AFK to the control ward. 3 hits, steals it. They go into the mid lane. He hits the one ward twice. Danny switches targets and takes the invis ward and then goes back to the control ward. So in the middle of like an LCS game, they're bickering over who gets 30 gold picked up. Just thought that was fun.
That's worth.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Danny gets them, it's worth. Gold cart, good. Wind walk to the boomerang as well. So, okay, out they can walk. Still, the 4K difference is, yeah, once you have full crit, the IE is done, and you one-shot casters, it's hard to miss CS.
Will he be going to QSS? That's my guess, is he'll just grab a QSS and then go somewhere else after this. I don't think we're going to see like a Wit's End or anything. There's not enough persistent magic damage for that to really make sense. So, we'll be looking towards that. We can see Blaber has his Zonias completed. And we may need to see Cloud9 kind of switch things up a little bit and how they're playing out the fights. They may need to be a bit more patient, try to wait for Zven to poke someone down before looking for the hard engage. Can be difficult to actually set up those fights because, of course, you know, once you are poked down, EG is likely going to back up. But I think they may have to play a more patient game because the hard engage has not been working for them recently. And Impact's getting monstrously tanky with the Randuins on top now. It's going to be really difficult to actually threaten him. And if you can't reach backline, not really going to be able to do much about Impact.
True. And hey, he's still going on. He's a big tank, and you know, he's just gonna get in the way. Good luck, Zven, getting anything done, because yeah, it's armor stack. He is going to the armor pen, so the Ceruldas will be in, and that'll help a little bit in terms of him getting through. Have yet to be able to find Perkz in a real battle in the side lane, right? He's been able to push the waves in, but he hasn't been the turret destructor, right? He's gotten the wave up to top tier 2, and then it's like, I did it, goodbye. Yeah, he did kill top outer when unanswered, and they cross-mapped it, but yeah, he's been only team fighting, and you really want to be in some of those smaller scraps, but Cena have not found themselves into the engages.
And it's difficult to find them because they're not the team with TF, right? You know, EG has more of a global presence, so, you know, to your point, he would love to be pushing, looking for these 1v1s, for these 2v2s, but the problem is, oh, nice Lantern timing there, tried to get that outplay, have the better timing, but ends up being the ulti down, and just a Lantern down for EG. So now you don't even have that team fight tool to set anything up. Impact's pushing in the side lane. Fudge has shoved out the top wave, but EG going to be running the map here for the next couple minutes.
All right, looking at bot lane. Impact versus Perkz. This should be pretty Yasuo favored. Obviously, when he's mini now, you can win while the boomerang, and that cooldown is absurdly long, and you kind of win from there. And you can maybe just stat check the man otherwise. Once you get some real lifesteal, and to be fair, shield bow is a decent amount. You can feel pretty good about the fights overall. So Yasuo definitely has some scaling and has some good farm, right? 309, highest on his team. That's looking pretty good. We're on the way towards Infinity Edge or maybe even Guardian Angel. I could see Danny going for the lower DPS build and guaranteeing he doesn't get one shot. Only difficult to be maybe a low DPS team comp if that happens. But with the gold, that might be okay. Dragon up in 20 seconds.
And Jiizuke actually just went top, pushed that out, then TP'd mid to be with his team to fight for Vision here. So they want these side lanes going. It has been a key component of their game plan for the last 30 minutes here. They try to get the shove. And I think this is this a Baron commit? I think so. With the TP there, I think they're just going to go for it. But yeah, this is warded. This is not going to get them anything, unfortunately, for Cloud9. Viego will solo.
That's a big stun, but there's a Lantern. Is it going to be enough? Rooted in place. Ulti's going to come across. There's just no way out. Impact has a flash. He's going to be Mega Gnar, and he's going to live. Cloud9's best laid plans result in Vulcan dying.
Yeah, they can't burst him down. He gets into Mega. Perkz did not elect to ulti in on that. I'm not sure if he was in range. Clearly feeling the pressure that they had to go for some sort of a play. Now it's going to be a Baron start here for EG. Cloud9 may just give it up. They're actually pinging over onto the Dragon, so I think they're going to try to move to Soul Point here, just electing to give up that Baron, not feeling that they can fight for it. But this game is slipping away from Cloud9 fast.
Their only hope's going to be in 5 minutes of Baron steal realistically, because this is going to be an explosion of a gold lead here. Evil Geniuses have a top lane tier 2 to kill, a free scuttle on a platter as well. As of course Svenskeren grabs it, why wouldn't he? As they take the Krugs, they're going to take top lane tier 2. They're going to have a ton of money to spend once they reset off these turret kills and this Baron picked up. EG feeling great so far.
Absolutely. Should be a tower taken on the bottom side. Won't be the local gold actually grabbed there. But C9 trying to potentially chase. I don't know. Oh, TP was in for Fudge.
Okay, they're taking the big play. The kick into the ulti, a flash away for Ignar, but you can definitely kill a Thresh. Burns his stopwatch. Leona's still not going to find much more than a slow. Ult comes in, 1 for nothing. Looking at a second, and Cloud9 have found some signs of life. Impact on the runaway. Should have hop available, should be able to live. Just gets away from the Zenith Blade of Vulcan.
Nice play there from Cloud9, though. They take 2 Baron buffs off the map. They look for that aggressive play. EG was not grouped. Danny was not with the team, so they felt confident to actually commit the ultis onto the Thresh, onto Svenskeren here. Going forward, they get a couple kills. This will buy them some time because that was before EG even went back to base on the recall. This is the initial play, but this is such a tanky member. He got Guardian, he got the Lantern Shield, Hysteric pops, he flashes out. Perkz did not ult in there. Not sure if he was in range or not, but they can't follow through and get the kill. And then this is the subsequent play after the Baron has been taken. Danny is showing mid, and that's why Cloud9 looked to force for it. Kick into ulti there. The exhaust was used on Fudge, so full damage coming through from Perkz, getting a lot done here without the AD. There's not really much of a shot of EG turning this fight around.
Yeah, and at least he's able to run away. Again, that Zenith Blade was very close in that fight. But we can reset onto the map. We see the Red Bull Baron power play is 2,000 gold to EG's favor, even after those 2 kills were taken up. 1,500 from the Dragon, and then the better turret score obviously helping on top of that one.
And Danny is so strong now. He even has the IE completed 4th, so a lot of crit in there. This guy is going to be a monster, and he was not with them for that last fight, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack. They've got to get through Danny here somehow. The Locket is even in there. Stopwatches and stasis on jungle top and mid, so you basically have to go for Danny. But everyone is going to be peeling for him, trying to protect him. He's going to get the Guardian Shield, the Lantern Shield, the Locket Shield, and he has both sums.
And a shield bow. So we'll see if it's enough. Blind hook, not going to find it. And Lee Sin sidestepping that one in the Fog of War as Impact as well. I can kill a ward at least, and we're going to fight for the vision. The across-wall vision is such a big deal in these sieges. Being able to throw the hooks, being able to know if they're coming in at all. Mid lane has a wave coming in, but it's not going to be held. Easily defended, not a lot of turret damage, able to regen back to 1/3, no problem. But Danny gets some time in the bot lane, gets that one down, about 30% of its health. As he had the Lantern to walk back, no one's going to fight him.
And they got to worry, if Perkz overcommits up there too far, TF ulti can come through. Perkz almost has his teleport, but that is obviously a little bit slower to react sometimes if there's a hard engage coming through from EG.
I like that read, though. That little, like, walk up and Lantern is like, Zven might ult here. Okay, react, reflexively. Okay, we get the kick, we get the push in. Big damage from Jiizuke. Burns his stopwatch. Too early for Vulcan. Gonna find a slow, but nothing else. Impact is the bouncer. Next time we get Blaber coming in, and that finalizes the kill. Jiizuke is down. Impact alone without an ult, without a flash. Maybe running away, though, because bot lane is under fire. Huge damage gonna come out of the AD carry. A quick stun, some running around, a hop for not much more. Can he build more space? Sven's in danger, gets a Locket Shield, gets to run out. Not going to find the hook either. Now to run away. Can Cloud9 find themselves into the kill? No knockups available on the squad. In a second, Fudge can do it, but he's not in range.
Yeah, he doesn't have TP. There's no
He's
shot.
still flanking, though. No, they're pinging. You can see the on-the-way pings are in the very, very far bottom right. How much damage can get done? Because Fudge has a kick. Fudge has a flash, and Fudge may have a ward from Vulcan. How fast can they run? Danny building a lot of space because Ignar should be able to lantern him. You can see the building as much distance as possible. Fudge does he land the Q? Does he land the Q? Can he land the kick afterwards? No, he cannot. Flashes in, gets the kick into the wall, gets the Yasuo. Danny is cutting away. Can he do the damage? Shield bow is on, but he's just jumped on too much. 1 for nothing to Cloud9. Looking for the second. As Ignar gonna take a lot of damage. Big cleanse for Zven, gets the second, and they're gonna get the third. Cloud9 get the chase down.
Jiizuke, though, TP's top here. He's actually gonna take another inhib. Their base is getting really in trouble. He's got the Lich Bane, he's got the Rapid Fire, so he's pumping through this pretty quickly. Will he commit to it? No, he's going to have to back off, so they will defend that top inhib. But even if they're winning some of these fights, it's getting really close to that game-ending scenario.
But this ended up lining up with Dragon Soul.
Oh, Impact caught.
Has got nowhere to go on this spot of the map. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. There's no bot lane. There's no jungler. It's Impact against the world trying to live. Arandu and slow buys a couple of seconds. Meganar's up in 1. Okay, cool. They are still split pushes of EG playing the map as much as they can. There's the Meganar transform. There's the follow through, a bit more of a slow. Fudge gets away from the stun, and now it's time to turn for the Dragon. But as you mentioned and as you saw, yes, Jiizuke in the top lane has finalized the second inhibitor kill.
And the mid lane tower is like 1 Lich Bane auto, right? So this is getting risky here for Cloud9. They had to force, they did in multiple scenarios, long chase downs, resulted in kills, resulted in positive plays here for Cloud9. But EG can play the map here. They have a strong 1-3-1 composition. They had been winning 5v5 too, so they had it all.
Yeah.
Even if they stop winning 5v5 now, they can still win the game through sides. And with 2 open inhibitors, it's really tough to play the map properly as Cloud9 because you've always got to respect the potential of that backdoor coming in from TF.
So now we get an interesting game state here, where the Mountain Soul is in for Cloud9, suffering through a small gold deficit, sure. But again, half that, well, okay, a third of that is Twisted Fate passive, so I'll keep mentioning that one for now. Eventually I'll stop, but in this game I'll keep talking about it. Baron is on the map. That's going to be something to watch for because top and bot are chain pushing. Teleports are down for all of Cloud9, whereas EG have TF ulti and maybe even a 7 or TP afterwards.
Some pretty big completions for Cloud9. They just got 2 GAs. They also got the Serpent's Fang here. And there's actually a lot of shielding over on the EG side when you're looking at Sterix, when you're looking at Lantern, when you're looking at Shield Bow, Locket even.
Big dive, stopwatch force. How about the team fight there? Ignar gonna get the flash away from the stun. Well timed by Vulcan, but you cannot prevent a flash with a stun. I don't believe it's ever even possible. And so out they go. Summoners burned, but as long as you wait, someone's got to answer bot, someone's got to answer top. Jiizuke runs the bottom lane, has TF ult, can rejoin the team. EG get a knockdown vision in the Baron pit.
And they've got no TP. This is so tough for Cloud9. You basically have to hard commit, I think, to try to fight the Baron, or you give it up immediately and go back to your base and try to defend the Baron push.
It's two-pronged, and this is them walking away. Zven could snipe. That's the one play. Can he steal? Not going to be in range, no way to get it. Baron is claimed, smart by Jiizuke.
Though.
You had no other choices, but now diving in, and Perkz is far. They get a root, but it's not going to be a kill. A couple more slows, but still not the full engage just yet. One final slow into Blaber, and they could not complete the kill. Cloud9 walk away in the 4v5.
They do walk away, but it's EG with the Baron buff here, playing the map well, tracking the TPs. Cloud9 had no TP, and Jiizuke had his ulti, so they ran the map there. If you try to waffle and go half towards that Baron, he could maybe even end the game, and now it's Baron buffed up minions coming from 3 lanes here. That mid lane tower is going to go down very quickly. Cloud9 is going to have to find some sort of a pick, some sort of a hard engage, and will they be able to find it here?
It's not on an Impact, it's not on a Vulcan. I believe 700 TP should still be down for Jiizuke. His ulti is back up in about 20 seconds, though. That will be a meaningful cooldown to wait around for, as they're sending Svenskeren to split push on the Viego. They want Impact as the primary tank with the 3. The jungler is one of the ones in the 1-3-1.
And EG has double GA themselves now. Top jungle, Impact and Svenskeren, so these targets becoming less and less desirable here. It's so difficult for Cloud9 to get in, but if they play it slow, they're gonna get just kind of slowly bled out of this game with waves pushing on all sides. It's very difficult to defend the supers. It's very difficult to defend all of your structures, and EG can keep stepping up with that Lantern to chip away at towers.
And a smart precognition click as well. You saw the Varus ult fly wide because Danny's like, if I was Zven, I would ult, click, off it flies, and he yells at the air. Mid lane turret now gone. Inhibitor still up. Perkz going to stop a gold card, but as the members run across and across the map, where can Cloud9 even be? Vulcan sidesteps yet another death sentence, finds himself in front of a stun. Impact could be targeted, indeed is stunned, but there's no Yasuo follow-up. Dives in on Gnar, looks for the kill, and they might just shut down a Guardian Angel. Vulcan in the front line's gonna drop as well. 1-4-0. Look for the second in a sec. Yes, indeed, it's 3. 3 instant kills for Evil Geniuses. The Baron was good. The Dragon Soul did not matter. EG played the map better. The macro was efficient. They split the team up. They won the side lanes. They won the team fights, and they're going to win the game as well. In the last few moments, Fudge will try to be the factor to defend it, but it will not happen. The turrets are down. The rest will walk away. They will sit on the fountain and cry as their base falls. Evil Geniuses knock down Cloud9.
EG continuing to build their case as best team in the league going into playoffs. They have been on such a tear here, taking down Cloud9, showcasing the new pick, the TF, playing the side lanes really well throughout the entire game. Really, EG actually did a great job of prepping the side lanes before objectives, fighting when they needed to fight, avoiding it when they needed to avoid it. And Impact for me was such a difference maker in this
yeah.
game. He played really well in the side lanes. He was pushing aggressively pretty much non-stop in those side lanes, knowing he was a difficult target in that 1v1. And then comes teamfight time. It looks silly because EG is always using their combo on him, but he is playing so aggressively in their face. He's the only target being presented.
Yeah.
There was just no way to really fight past this Randuin's Omen, Sterix, GA, Gnar, who is running at you with a lantern behind him. How do you get to Danny? I just think it was great team fighting from Impact.
And Evil Geniuses get to control their destiny. Not only do they obviously have a game above Cloud9, they play 100 Thieves on Sunday to take that spot from them. And even if there is a three-way tie, you play up three-way tie. EG, control the destiny for the bye, control the destiny to win the LCS championship. It's going to be a road for these folks. And while business on the Rift is finished for the moment, we've still got a bit of business to take care of here